Antonietta Rozzi is the founder and president of Sarva Yoga International in Italy. She started practicing yoga 45 years ago and visited many yoga schools and ashrams in India over the years. She's been organizing yoga programs in Italy for a long time now. Today, she's a senior professor of the Italian Yoga Federation. For 45 years, she has been a member of the Italian Commission of the Ministry of Education to develop official programs of yoga at schools, colleges, and universities in Italy. In 2019, she received the Prime Minister's Award for Outstanding Contribution of Promotion and Development of Yoga by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi.
It's a long way. I started very young simply because my fiancé, who is now my husband, very young was interested and practicing yoga. So just seeing him, I was curious. I start to try to understand what is yoga. I never heard about yoga before. So we start together, and then he started to teach, and I do the same courses he has done. And then I have seen that maybe in Europe there are not so many masters, because I'm speaking more than 40 years ago. So we started together to travel to India, and we had the chance and the privilege to meet many masters at that time, and we continue till now. And that's why I started, and yoga has become my life. Well, my first experience in yoga was shocking, of course, because we came to India with my son, who was 4 years old. And the first step, we went to Bihar, which is not the most, rich or developed country till now. So it has been at the Bihar School of Yoga, and it has been very hard. And then to Rishikesh too. At that time, I'm speaking of the year 76, 77. And then we have almost every year we have been to India. So yes, it has been hard, but at the same time fascinating. You know, India is like some people we met. Or we love immediately, or we don't establish a relationship. I fall in love with India immediately, so that's why we continue to be in touch with World of Yoga, the main institution of yoga in India. And we try also to invite many masters in Europe who were not so well known, of course, at that time. Well, the last 30 years, a lot of development has been in Europe. We started teaching yoga for future teachers, because we thought that this was the best way to introduce yoga. And introducing yoga at that time, as you may know, it was not so easy, because nobody knows about yoga. Today it's quite different. I mean, everybody has heard about yoga. Maybe they don't have a correct view, or they are not so well informed of what is really yoga, but at least they have heard about it. At that time, it was very strange to say that we practice yoga and we are teachers of yoga. So we try to import, since the very beginning, the true tradition of yoga, to preserve the richness also of this wonderful science, which has become now heritage of humanity, and we are all of us very happy of that. Mainly at the beginning, many people thought that yoga were only asana, strange posture, and also strange people, because, as you know, in the 70s, due also to the publicity of the Beatles, who import some practices of yoga, it was seen for something like the hippies and only for them. And it takes some time to make the people aware, the general public, I mean, aware that yoga is really a science, which is, of course, very ancient. It doesn't belong really to the European and Italian tradition, but which can be universal at the same time. And this has been developed year after year with this kind of effort to teach to future teachers, to train teachers in that vision of yoga, and also to invite many masters in Italy, because not all the people can go to India and visit India. So we have really invited many masters who gave direction to the people who practice seriously, who are involved seriously in yoga. And now I think there are two ways. The public general way of the yoga in fashion, where everything can be called yoga, and sometimes it has nothing to do with yoga, and the true tradition, which is maintained, and we try to develop this true tradition. That's why we are very happy to be in touch with your institute and your movement of Heartfulness. It is always difficult to make provision what will happen, but we are working for that. We are working for a kind of dignity in yoga, which is not seen like something strange or exotic, but really as a science. And in that view, I must say that in our tradition, especially in European tradition, to make one topic, one science, something new will come from other traditions, it's not always easy. And it can be introduced, rooted more deeply if it is imported and accepted in academic world. We are very strict in that since the old ancient Greeks and Roman and so on. So we are trying to make this a new view of yoga, who can be a topic also to introduce in academic work, and we are starting, and we are very happy of that and proud also, a course, an official course in 2 universities in Italy, which is not easy. University in Italy and Europe are mainly state university. There are few private universities, so it's official, with the topic of yoga as a pedagogy, so in education, and yoga also as wellness in the Faculty of Medicine. And I think these are slow steps, but big steps to introduce yoga and to preserve this tradition, but especially to preserve the richness of yoga. Absolutely. You cannot imagine, it's not a compulsory topic, of course, so they can choose to follow this course. If they choose their official credit and exam as any other topic in their curriculum of university, they are, I must say, enthusiastic. Every year there is a minimum of number who can attend, but every year there are more requests, because they immediately perceive, immediately feel how useful it can be, especially in education, in growing more mental health among young people, in schools, in modern society, and to face also many problems of modern society. Because yoga has this wonderful magic tool, that it is an ancient science, but it seems to suit very strictly and give solution to any modern problem. And that is fascinating. And I think young people at university, they feel how useful it can be. This is a special course, as I told you, so those who chose are interested. But at the end of the course, all of them told me, it's wonderful. We don't thought it was, the yoga was like that, because I explain how yoga can help in psychology, in structuring the psychology of the young people, their mental health. I show also how, in physical way, how it can be useful, and I show them also how many tools yoga have to help education, concentration, memory, better attention, to solve many problems of hyperactivities, for example, in school. And as they are they are preparing to become a teacher in school and university, they are very much interested in that. Some of them started to do a training course to become a teacher of yoga also, as well as teacher in school at universities. It is difficult because this happen as many things that happen in life. One day I thought that there were so many strange things happening in the world of yoga in the West that I think to my masters. I was in touch at the beginning, especially with the Divine Life Society, Swami Chidananda and Krishnananda, two great masters, a very simple person, but great souls. But in the meanwhile, I visited many schools, many ashrams in India, almost all those who are on in our association. And I thought that, especially young generation, because I'm more oriented to teach to young people who are really the essence of future society, I thought that these people doesn't know about them, doesn't know about their richness, how this great soul can help humanity, all humanity, not only Indian people. And the strange idea came to me to make an association where they are simply all together, mainly as guide. Sarva Yoga International is a kind of guide for people who are looking for some spiritual guidance, but also for mental health, to visit serious, authentic centers in India if they want to go, or if they want simply to read about this tradition. And I asked mainly to the successor of Swami Chidananda of Divine Life Society, and I thought in my mind, if he will say that it is a good idea, I will go on. Otherwise, okay, I will continue to visit India by myself and my students. And he has been enthusiastic immediately. And the strange thing is that all the other traditions that I met, some of them I know before, but some of them I just meet for the first time and explain this project. All of them have been enthusiastic, and they agree to be part. Simply, is a kind of orientation to true yoga, which is also orientation to a life of ethics, a life of ecology, a better life in society in modern time. So it is nothing like some nostalgic idea of the past. It is really, the goal is to see the richness of the experience of India in yoga, of the experience of these big, sometimes small schools, also center, authentic in India, to improve the well-being and the wellness of all society, not only in the East, but also in the West. We have to be clear, in official program, ministerial program at the university, I cannot speak about religion, so I just say that there are texts that are the foundation of yoga, like Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, but I am not allowed to explain to them. We can explain very well to other young who choose to be student of our training course for yoga teachers. And in this course, we have very good specialists, Western specialists, but also we ask the support of all our institute in India to explain this text. We had a very nice and important commentary on Bhagavad Gita, for example, by a monk of Ramakrishna Mission, which is the dean also of Ramakrishna Mission University. We are doing course on Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, comment to sutra by sutra and pada by pada, for example, by the pro-chancellor of Sanskrit University in India. So we have this kind of exchange with experts who can explain also the general universal value of this text, not only in Hinduism. Because otherwise there is a lot of resistance, religious resistance, as you may imagine, even in the West. A big surprise and a nervous surprise, because I don't know how it happened. I just received a call from Ministry of Ayush. I know many people of the Ministry of Ayush, because I attended so many times at the conference of International Yoga Day. I am in touch with the Institute of Ayush Ministry in Delhi. And suddenly, one day in summer, I received this call to say, you are the first non-Indian yoga teacher who will receive the Prime Minister Award. So it was really a surprise, and I don't know even who made my name, and I know how it happened, really. But I must say that I am really very happy and especially very proud of it, because this is not for the prize itself, the award itself, but really it's consolidate this kind of love and relationship I always had with India. And I must just make a small confidence. I always dreamed to have an Indian passport, to have both nationalities, because I feel really my heart is half and half in Italy and half in India. And one of the dreams, it's a childish dream, but sometimes I say, it would be nice to have an Indian passport. Well, this award for me is my Indian spiritual passport, and it is very dear to me. And I am proud and grateful, of course.